Here's a quick tutorial about HHO units, the wire ones. Like one would be the water for gas all over the place. This is actually thicker wire than what's even in them, 3/16 gauge. Now if you have your negative and positive wrapped around, well, your only area you got that's going to really produce is in between. So that means with the round wire you only got the little area. Okay, that'd be just like your plates. If you have plates, it'd be almost just, if that was negative and that was positive, you put them this way. Now nobody makes them that way. That's basically how the wire is, like this. Useless. Okay, now the plates, which work very well, okay, you got a wide area that can produce the gas. But the problem with that is, we'll just use this here for now. The ones that go in like this, you see the terminals on top, okay? So you have your cells in here. Well, okay, it's filled up with water. Obviously, you can't fill to the top. So as your water level drops, your gas production is next to none. After a little bit, you're halfway, and then it's done. Useless. Unless they can turn sideways and lay on the bottom, like that, then you might have something going on. Okay? Now, years ago, we made units. They were tilted in sideways. As you can see, you'd be able to have, I think it was over 24 ounces of water in here before you even start to lose production from the cell. Obviously, if you have the cells in like this, terminals on top, as soon as your water level drops, it's not going to produce for you. Here's one that we made a few years back. Your water level up here, look how much water you can go through before you even start losing production on your cells. It's on the bottom. Okay? Unlike many others. Next thing is the chemical cells. Okay, I do the chemical cells now. One thing is sodium hydroxide does this to glass. Okay, there's some people that sell them that have it both ways with the cells in like this here, and they say you can use it chemical or glass. Well, that's nice. This is what happens to your glass. Don't matter if it's lined with outside with stainless steel, gold, doesn't matter. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like after a while. You won't even be able to put the lid on anymore. So obviously glass ain't the best thing to use. Okay? Now, back to this. One more time. Your cells that have the terminals on top, obviously your cells are like this. As soon as your water level drops, you're not going to be producing any gas. Cells are on the bottom, you're going to keep producing gas till the water level drops. Makes a lot more sense. Now, back to the chemical cell, okay? Now, obviously you don't want to use glass because of this. I mean, you can, but it's kind of worthless. Like I said, or you're going to have to deal with that. Sodium hydroxide, chewing away the glass. Okay, over here we have our style, another style. Another style says dump aluminum in it. Alright, we already got this sodium hydroxide in there, okay? So you dump the aluminum in. Alright, we'll give it a little stir around. It's going crazy. Look at that go. That's great. But you know what happens? That gets super hot. It's going to overheat. You're going down the road. This stuff here is going to be going through into your bubbler, into your engine, everything else. Look at that go. It's producing lots. Give it a little stir up here. It's working great. Now after a while, it's going to start foaming. Then the foam's going to be up all over the place. Now, after use, this here's what happens to the glass. Now I don't know, I personally wouldn't want this. That's already getting hot to touch. Can't even touch it. I don't care what it's lined in. That's not good. Personally, that's dangerous. You crack the glass after a while. Ours, with our special core, give it a little whoosh around here. Might have to stick a little bit more water in there so you can actually see what's going on. Big difference there. Put a little bit more in here so you can see it's confined. So you can drive down the road, you got little by little, this here is going to get eaten up in the middle, the aluminum, as it drops. Now look at this here, now it's starting to get all the way up to the top now. It's going to go over, so unit that does it that way versus ours inside here with the special cell, the heat, like I said, you can't even touch that. Compared to that, there's a big difference. And that's about all I have to say. As you can see, it's bubbling over now. So is that a good unit to have in your vehicle, a chemical cell? No. Look at that, look at the difference there. Controlled versus non-controlled. And there you go. Is that what you want going on? Now obviously there's no lid on it. If there's lid on it, it'd be shooting out of the top like crazy. Okay? Now go back to the other one. Look at that. It's bubbling up just as good. You can look at it. It's bubbling all through. But it's controlled. Unlike this. So don't forget, it's either one way or the other. You either have a chemical cell or you got a HHO unit that has the cell in the bottom of the water. Thank you. Hopefully this gave you a little tutorial, gave you a little more information, so you're not out there wasting your money. It doesn't matter if you sell 10,000 units. If they work like this, I wouldn't want one.